Hey yo, let's talk about my newest camera.
Have you had enough, or should I continue?
Hello, hello. So today, I know it's been a while since I put out a video, and so I just wanted to, you know, talk about my newest camera. I've probably done every camera, so, but what you probably wouldn't think that I would do is revert, because I've tried everything. Like, I mean, if you watch my other videos, you'll see that I've tried the a7 IV, the a7 III, the a7R III, the a7C, the a7C2, the a6100. When we go to Canon, I've tried the R6 Mark II, the RP, the R8. When you go to Fuji, I've tried the X-T5, the X-T30, the XS20, the whatever the big boy one is with the big grip. Can't think of it, but you know, watch, it'll come to me while I'm talking about other stuff. For Nikon, I've tried the Z6 II, the Z7. I haven't tried all of their stuff, but the ZF, one of my favorite cameras. And if I say that, then you wonder why I didn't keep it, but neither here or there. I mean, I'll probably get into it while I talk about what I got today. Did I forget a camera company? Oh, I did, the Lumix S5 II. Tried that. The Lumix S9. Yeah, Best Buy must hate me, but I think I'm done. I think I'm done with this. Let's see, I don't see, hopefully it focuses on that. I don't know where the picture of it is, but there you go. I can't show it to you in hand because I'm filming with it, because that's how much I like it. But it is the a6700. Cover up my serial number there just in case someone wants to do something sweet. A6700. I want to tell you what I think about it, what I like, what I don't like. I'm gonna try to keep it shorter than most of my videos, but let's start. Yes, I got the one with the kit lens. It wasn't because I wanted the kit lens. I'm using the kit lens right now, so maybe it might be okay. But I got it with the kit lens because the other two options weren't in store and I didn't want to wait. So it's very hard to say, and now I'm gonna have to mute that because obviously that's not gonna stop, is it? Okay, but my other two options were not in store, and I just really wanted to, I don't know if you feel like this, but I just wanted to shoot, and I wanted to shoot today. Like, I didn't want to shoot in 4 days when the product came to me or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Let's start with the things that I do like. Let's talk about Sony, first of all, as a company. Sony has a lot of camera choices, Maybe one of the reasons why I tried so many of their cameras is because there's just so much choice. If you think you want to do portrait photography, they got a camera just for that. You know, the R5, the R4, R3 high megapixel cameras. And they're good, they're real good. You know, if you think that you want to do all around, you got the a7 IV, a7 III. You know, if you want something compact, they got the a7C2, a7C, and then all their APS-C stuff. And so what led me down to this road was I did have an A7C2, enjoyed carrying it, like the autofocusing on that more than the A7 IV. The A7 IV is obviously a professional camera because it's got 2 card slots. So people who get mad about something not having 2 card slots, to me, I get it, but I also don't get it because I'm not a professional. I'm not. Hopefully when you're watching this video, you're watching it because you want to hear from a non-professional what they think about something. I mean, I got a little experience, right? But I shot a whole senior photo shoot with the A7C2. I shot prom photos with the A7C2. I've shot other things with A7 IV. And to be honest, for me, the way that I work, I like to move around a lot more, and my wrist is tired a lot from, I got a car accident, and so I have like a stress fracture in my wrist that acts up from time to time. So I wanted something lighter, so here we are with the a6700. The other thing I like about the a6700, besides size and weight, is versatility. So like it is like an A7 IV, but the APS-C version. And yeah, see, I'm gonna have to stop, I guess. Maybe they're probably gonna call back. Watch, I put it on do not disturb, but you know, anyway. So yeah, train of thought gone. A7 IV size too big, so the A7C2 was better for me. But when you put the camera lenses on it that you would like to use, it becomes almost just as big. So what's the point? So I wanted something to wear, like when I use the Fuji. The lenses are smaller. You can get a farther reach with those lenses because of the crop factor. And when I tried the Nikon ZF, it was cool, but they don't have a lot of lenses that are compact enough. Now Sony's third-party people are actually starting to make things that are small enough. And so the A7C2 would have probably been still a good choice, but once again, no longer in stock at the store. I don't know if that means it's popular or, you know, if there's something else coming out, but the other thing that I like about the a6700 is all the features and the auto tracking and all that stuff that you would get in an A7C2. It's in here. It's good. It's amazing. Everything is great with it as far as that kind of stuff goes. Now, we can talk about the things that I don't like. Actually, before we do that, let's talk about the one other thing. I don't know if you can see this on the box, but there's a wheel now in the front. And personally, I love that because I want to be able to switch those things easier without having to touch things on the screen or push multiple buttons in order to do one thing. I'm only shooting stuff that I see every day. Photo shoot or two. My cat, who might jump up here later or not. But, you know, so I feel like I don't need anything big, but I do also want something that I can switch the settings fast enough to get that shot with the cat. That's mainly the reason why the X-T5 and the Nikon ZF didn't work as much as I love both of those cameras. Like I would use them on a daily basis for just shooting stuff outside. But when it comes to that cat, like trying to get the settings right, and by the time I flick those dials at the top, my cat's moved. It's over. And I want to take a lot more pictures of my cat. This sounds corny, but when my last cat died, I had pictures from the phone, and they weren't as good quality. They weren't. So, you know, I got the iPhone 16 Pro Max or whatever it is, but, and you know, all the sequential ones that came, I get the new iPhone every year. I'm one of those people. I used to work at Apple, so. For me, I just want to have something where I can quickly with one hand change the settings and try to capture that picture of my cat, even if it's just her doing something silly or laying down. I got probably 1,000 pictures of her laying down and doing nothing. But I want to catch her doing more stuff. So I think that something small but also easy to use, functionality-wise, would do that. So now to the dislikes. Let's get started, because there's something to dislike about every camera if you look hard enough. One, I want one more dial, but it's okay. I can use the background dial to change the ISO. I would prefer another whole dial at the top to change that, sort of like how the a7C2 has, and the a7IV and all those other cameras. The other thing that I don't like about it is, this is the big one, is indoors. Unless you're very conscious of it, you can hit that upper ISO range very quickly. So you want to make sure that the lighting is good and stuff like that, but that doesn't help you with the indoor cat photos, obviously, because sometimes you just want to capture those, and if they got really noisy, grain in the background of the picture, I guess it is what it is. Because your iPhone camera doesn't necessarily have that, because it has all this technology and all that kind of stuff. So that's the next thing I wish that Sony and them would do, is be able to figure out how to get that same kind of effect that phone cameras do sometimes with lower light. I know it looks artificial, but let me have the choice of whether I want the artificial version or the raw version and go about my business. The other thing that I don't like about it, to be honest, is it's APS-C. One of the cons, but one of the pros. So the pro of the APS-C camera is that a 50mm lens will get you 70 or so millimeters in, and that's great, because that's like portrait range for people who like headshot portraits and be able to get closer to animals and stuff like that, or closer to things that you don't want to walk up to or whatever. If you use a zoom, like the zoom that came with this is, what is it? It's 18-135. I think that equals out to 200 something in a full frame camera. I know that you can get the background blur of a full frame camera if you buy more expensive lenses. A lot of those don't really exist. Or if you use manual focus lenses that have a, more wide open aperture. But the more I shoot, the more I don't want to shoot at 1.4. I don't know, because sometimes I want to get more creative and actually show things in my background. Not that you like this background, but you know what I mean. You get it. And so that's the pro and a con at the same time. And so, other than that, to be honest, when I'm outside though, this 26 megapixel sensor, I think it's 26. I know it's not the 33 of the iPhone. I mean, you hear me? The iPhone. Of the A7 IV. And I know it's not the 50 of the X-T5, which is another crop sensor camera, but the X-T5 40 megapixel sensor is, stuff still comes out soft. And I don't know if it's because of the way that they make their sensor. It's a different configuration than what other companies use, but the colors are great on there. Not as sharp of a photo. And I know that people use X-T5s and XS20s and stuff like that. XH2, that's what I tried. There you go. I told you, I knew it was going to happen. And they use those for, you can use almost any camera at this point that's over $1,000 as a professional camera. And it should be professional for over $1,000. I mean, our phones are $1,000 and they take just as good pictures for most things and most occasions. Like other videos I film, sometimes I film them with my phone, just because I don't have to fiddle around with settings and all that kind of stuff. But wrapping this up, I don't know about the overheating because I don't do video a lot. I just do video for this. I don't do video for clients or anything like that. Not yet, at least. I don't think so. I don't call myself a videographer. I'm not really good at that. It probably shows. I probably look like crap on here. But the only other thing that I think that I would say is a negative for me is Sony's colors are better, but I can tell you for a fact that if I were to rank colors, Sony's colors are more probably true to life, but you shoot a Canon, and this is probably the reason why a lot of people shoot Canon. You shoot Canon, and your pictures that you shoot when you're a wedding photographer or whatever, or a portrait photographer, the colors are more pleasing to the eye, for me at least. I know that's subjective, and you can edit photos in RAW. I get that, I get that, I get that. Don't even type it in the comments. I get it. And color is subjective, right? But there's something to be said, and this is the final con of their combined cons. So the color that you get on a Sony camera and the color that you get on the Canon or you get on the Fuji, even on the Nikon, the colors that you get, sometimes if you resonate with those colors, you do less editing and you do less tweaking. And then, so a lot of times I feel like when I'm using a Sony camera and looking at Sony files, I have to remind myself to stop tweaking, or I have to set it aside and come back later and then look at it from a fresh set of eyes, kind of like how you would do in any other creative process. I mean, I also make music. I don't know if you can see this, but nope, you can't, because I can't pull it that far. But I got a machine, Focusrites, microphones. I do music, and sometimes you gotta come back and listen to it another day. Something you thought was hot is not hot that day. It's actually turned out to be that you were just drinking and you thought it was good. So, you gotta kind of re-look at your files sometimes on a Sony and make sure everything is good. At least for me, because I haven't been doing this for years. I know that there's other people who probably love the Sony colors and can get them right in like 2 seconds. I get that. I watch a lot of YouTubers, and they seem to be really, their style and their colors is already set up. That's where they are. They got their presets. And then my style changes on the day. So sometimes what I like that Fuji for is I could go and get those film simulations and get my style of the day that I thought that I wanted or something like that, and match it to that, and then less editing for me to do. But the biggest problem about the Sony colors isn't that. It's the looking at them on the back of the screen when you're taking stuff. Looking at them in the EVF. If your colors don't look the way you want them to when you're shooting, and I know that people say, change your white balance. It's not just about the white balance. It's, I think Sony does greens differently. So no matter how you change your white balance, your greens might look more green. People's faces might look more magenta. Like, it just depends on which Sony camera you get. And so, but all of them, until you get to like the a7R5 and stuff like that, the back LCD doesn't look as good as any of these other brands. I can tell you right now, I've tried them all. It has less megapixels. The colors aren't as rich and vibrant like that. It doesn't show the same type of preview that I think that, say, a Canon or a Fuji or even a Nikon shows. I use that Panasonic, and I think that the Panasonic at least showed me colors that were more close to what I would edit like. And so I think sometimes that kind of doesn't make you want to shoot. But Sony's a very, very, very capable camera, like almost all cameras that they make at this point that have this auto tracking, this AI autofocus. My goodness. The computational stuff that it's doing in there to help you figure out, even if you want to set it on aperture priority or something like that, the ISO settings, all those things, amazing. It does amazing things in the way that it works, the custom buttons. It has more custom buttons than almost anybody else has. Those things are built for people who are professional, and they're bringing them down into their less professional cameras. And so I think that's commendable in the ecosystem with lenses and third-party lenses. So if you have a budget and you can't get there yet, and you're not getting hired for a whole bunch of things yet, and you're still doing TFP shoots and stuff like that, and so what you're working with is the budget of what you got as your free spending money, Sony and third-party people got you covered. And so another reason, because I love Canon, but right now $1,000 for a lens when I don't make any income coming in from this very often. I've done a couple things that I've gotten money coming in, but nothing to where I could, pay for a new lens and do all that stuff multiple times. So for me, I'm gonna stick to the Sony and I'm gonna stick to the a6700, even though it's APS-C, because 80% of the time what I do is walk around with this and take it everywhere. I take my cameras everywhere, and I can tell you when you take an A7 IV everywhere, people look at you all like, oh no, is he trying to take a picture? Or, oh, he must be a professional. Or, even for models, it makes them feel weird. Because why am I doing a TFP if I got like this big bulky gear? Like I obviously, should be doing more than that. But yeah, I'm just gonna work with it. I'm gonna rock with it. I'm gonna rock with this boy here, a6700. I'm gonna rock with it. Have fun with it. Go outside and take some shots. Then come inside and maybe take some shots. But yeah, I'm out. Just because people wanted to see this and see that I own a bunch of these. All right, bye.